Right, this is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13. Ye, referring to the Israelites, okay? Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. First and foremost, before I continue, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that did teach us this truth. And peace and blessings to the Lord's hopeful elect. Hey, back at it, just with a quick observation lesson about the Israelites being the salt of the earth. And that salt is in relation to flavor. So the Lord is telling us that we are the quote unquote flavor of the earth. Out of all of the nations, we have this peculiar culture, how we talk. All right. And this goes back from the beginning of us being a nation until this very day. The way we talk, the way we dress, and everything in between, the way that we're intimate with one another. You know, we are the salt of the earth. The music, all right, the dancing, all this stuff. And the reason why I brought this out, man, because school just started back up, and of course I am a father, and I had to I have to do the whole school shopping thing. And of course I'm just seeing how much the game has changed, and just utilizing my spiritual eye, spirit discernment and things like that, and just always trying to be a spiritual man about every aspect of my life. I just noticed the game has changed. First and foremost, obviously the prices have absolutely skyrocketed on shoes. We talk about Air Force Ones. I started wearing Air Force Ones in around like '01, '02. I remember my first pair was no more than $74, for the all white low tops. All right, nowadays you cannot find a pair of Air Force Ones for under $100. Matter of fact, in most of these sneaker stores, unless they got certain sales, but the popular shoes, you're not gonna find any under $100. And please don't go into one of those stores with the so-called hype stuff. Most of that shit is 150 and up, and I'm being generous, man. And the reason why, and then I was just looking through YouTube because it just I was just meditating through the spirit how the Edomites, I'm gonna just go ahead and keep it 100. As far as Babylon the Great is concerned, the so-called USA, first and foremost the Edomites, but as well as the other nations, how they're just jocking our style basically. And this is spiritual, man. This shows you that the Lord is not a man that he shall lie. If the Lord himself said we are the salt of the earth, and the Lord said that his people are peculiar people above all other nations upon the earth, then that is exactly what Yahweh Bahashem and Yahweh Shai means. And I had just came across this quick little stuff. I was going through a bunch of them because I just wanted to see was there any videos about what I thought, being that this whole shoe thing is absolutely effed up, and the fact that the so-called white people have ruined sneaker culture. All right, basically they're ruining the last little bit of culture that we have now. Of course, the quote unquote culture that we have now, it's all rooted in ignorance and vanity, but we still have that salt regardless. Hey, look at our murderers, the young men that like to do the gang stuff. They make these pretty catchy songs talking about horrific murders. It's catchy. That's that salt. It's a horrendous thing, all right, a horrific thing, all right, but it still has some salt to it. I'm just being honest. These guys are definitely going to be judged beyond your wildest imagination, but they still got that salt to them. Again, they're just using their energy and their time to promote a bunch of BS because they have demonic spirits. So instead of making that good music that make you want to love, that make you want to be brotherly, that make you want to be in a quote unquote regular relationship with a man and a woman, all right, they're doing the exact opposite. Everything is completely psyched out. But I'll let this play right quick, and then we'll get some precepts.
A conversation on YouTube. So let's react to his video. Let's go.
White people ruin sneaker culture.
Now, the problem isn't the sneakers, it's the principle behind the sneakers. Anytime y'all discover a new trend, which is something that other cultures have been doing for decades, bro, y'all come in, y'all overconsume, and then y'all make these same spaces inaccessible for the people that fucking created them. And that's the problem. Y'all do it to black people more than anyone else because we're the biggest trendsetters. But I see
Bam, and that's the spirit. What he's saying, we're the biggest trendsetters, which goes into Matthew the 5th chapter, what we're just reading, that we're the salt of the earth. They're copying us in every single way, and it then got to the point where they're doing this whole resale shoe thing now, where mostly, and it's not just us white people that are doing it, all right, but it is mostly, and they're buying these shoes like, wholesale or whatever, and they're reselling them for a ridiculous markup, man. I saw a video. I don't know if I did a video on it or not, but if I did, then hey. But it was a guy at this sneaker con shit, and he had about no more than 5 pairs of shoes. Of course, they were like Jordans and like some type of Nikes or whatever. Do you know how much this gentleman said that these 5 pair of shoes were? You're thinking, okay, maybe a couple thousand. This dude say $200,000 for a few pair of plastic styrofoam shoes. This is ridiculous. And what old buddy is going into, and I'll play it one more time.
Shit happening, overconsume, and then the problem isn't the sneakers, it's the principle behind the sneakers. Anytime y'all discover a new trend, which is something that other cultures have been doing for decades, bro, y'all come in, y'all overconsume, and then y'all make these same spaces inaccessible for the people that fucking created them. And
right, it's inaccessible because now the prices of everything is sky high, and it isn't because of us, because we weren't paying, these type of prices. Yeah, we did the whole Jordan thing and stuff like that, a couple hundred, but it then went up like 3 times that now, and it's because of these people trying to copy us. They have the resources to buy. You see at these sneaker conventions, it be little Edomite kids up in there with hundreds to thousands of shoes that they're selling, that I don't know how they're getting this money, man, but we're in our captivity. Some of our people are quote unquote getting to the bad, but the majority of us are living paycheck to paycheck. We don't have the type of money to spend on this crap anymore, and we're absolutely getting fed up. And this is a sign of the times, man. The fact that hell, it's not just the Edomites that are copying us, but the rest of the nations as well, man. It's because we are the salt of the earth, and this proves it, man, to the point where hell, every other nation will copy us, and you see it in the music. You can see it in the way that they're speaking now. Matter of fact, this generation, like the coming generation of Edomites, they have no connection to that whole racism thing. They have nothing but admiration for the Hebrew Israelites. They want to be like us. Their daughters want to sleep with the men, the Hebrew Israelite men, all right, the so-called black, Latino and Native American men, and it's just over. This has to be, signs of the times, man, and the Lord is revealing these things. This shit corny. What would they do if we decided to switch up our swag and start dressing like the 40s? I am convinced that it would take some time, but eventually they would follow suit. Pun intended. We get up in here wearing top hats. The girls get to dressing like debutantes, and I guarantee you, they'll stop wearing Nikes and Jordans, and we'll make it cool. Whatever we do, we make it cool, and they follow us, man. Now more than ever, because those curses are starting to be lifted and transferred to our enemy. It wasn't like that in the damn 60s and 70s, because we that's when the curses kind of really started to let up. You had the music going, especially in the 70s, the 60s, that whole Motown era, and then we started to kind of the curses kind of started to but we're still here, man. But the whole point of this is that we're the salt of the earth, man. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 28th chapter and verse 37. Very quick, straight to the point lesson. There it is. All right, and again, Deuteronomy 28 chapter describes the curses that will fall upon the Israelites if they were disobedient to the Lord. concerning the law, statutes, and commandments, which we were. So all these things are punishments and judgments that the Lord say would fall upon us, and this is one of them in Deuteronomy 28 verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. And here we are, and this is the same place, mind you, for us that live here in Babylon the Great, the so-called USA. Same place where we was hung from trees, same place where they was spraying us with water hoses, same place where they was killing us, all right, because of the color of our skin, same place where they called us colored, same. And that's what the Lord is telling us, we will become a byword, so we wouldn't be known as the children of the Lord. The Hebrew Israelites, they called us niggers, all right, colored, black, all right, and everything else up under the sun, man. Red skin, all these things, man, except who we truly are, which is Hebrew Israelites, the children of Yahweh, all right, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And that's really the point of it, man. And here we are in the same place, man. Now again, that whole generation, the old generation, they still have a connection to the racism, but the Edomites, these coming generations, they have no connection to racism, bro. They don't care. The Israelites, and we are in our captivity to this day. It shows you the resilience and the salt of the Hebrew Israelites. Here we are in captivity, and you got Jacob in captivity within a captivity, i.e. prison. All right, they're up in there making custom prison clothes, man, with whatever. So resilient. And prisoners, they be building all type of stuff, man. It ain't just the black folks. But as far as like having that salt, man, I've seen videos with our people up in there with Jordans on, jewelry, stacks of money. All right, now of course it's rooted in vanity. That's not how we're supposed to be conducting ourselves, but it still shows you that salt. Same place again, this so-called USA, Babylon the Great, where they called us these things, and it was segregation. Now they're worshiping it. Now you got little Edomite boys with a life-size poster cutouts of Hebrew Israelite sports players, etc., etc. Ran into this young girl when I was in, not young girl, she was younger than me, when I was in Florida a while back, Edomite girl, and man, she knew more about this current hip hop culture than I ever will, man. I don't listen to all that young stuff, Lil Uzi type of stuff, but she was going to Coachella. I guess it's like a big concert or whatever in Florida, I think. And she just knew every artist, everything, and it just shows you again, bingo, Jack, we are the salt of the earth, man. And I'm gonna bring this out, and the reason why I say that is because things are getting ready to change, man. We're getting ready to see the full manifestation of us being that salt, because Jacob is getting ready to be lifted up and rise and manifest, rising above all these nations. And guess what? Esau Edom is going down in the chains and slavery, and it's gonna be very, very, it's gonna suck. We went through it, Esau. It's gonna suck. We're gonna keep it real with you. It's not gonna be fun. Especially when especially first getting started. You got 1,000 long years of this, man. So, and the time in the kingdom of heaven is gonna go by slow. All right. And here it is, straight to the point. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's why they're following us now, because we're getting ready to lead. Now the Lord already has, his leaders, in their leadership positions doing their things. Now we remain in a certain level of humility as it relates to us not being perfected yet, but we do feel there is a certain spirit upon us, all right, that causes us to prophesy and teach, all right, that a change is coming. Again, Esau is the end of the world. We are at the end of the world, which is, that word, a world, goes into, what is it, aeon, or which means end of an age. All right, so this age, this era, all these things, man, we're getting ready to see the end of it. And guess what? There's going to be a new world, which is to say a new age, a new era, where Yahweh Shah is going to rule here, all right, on this physical earth, as well as the rest of the nation of Israel in their respective orders. And again, you see it changing, man. They have no, again, I'm talking about the younger generations of Esau Edom. They don't have no connection. Majority. All right, yeah, some of them still own that, and they still have wicked spirits upon them, but for the most part, man, they're jumping ship. They're women. All right, if you know, you know. Okay, as far as the whole white woman, black man thing, and it ain't necessarily just a sexual thing. That's what everyone thinks. It's just a sexual thing, or they just want to use men. No, come on, man. Every nation has attractive people in their nation, man. I guarantee you, if you're a real man, you could pick out a woman from any nation and find some beautiful women. It's some beautiful Elamite women, East Indians and West Indian women, and even some beautiful Hamite women, dark chocolate, beautiful. So I don't think that these white women, so-called, are just after these black men because of their private areas. No, they're actually just naturally attracted, to a nice looking man. Why I gotta be all that? Now, for some women, it is just, physical, but this is the signs of the times, man. Things are changing. So, all we have to do is finish our course, man. We're almost finished. We can feel it, man. We can't give up. And our brothers will always say, starting with the apostles, this ain't time to get weak. This ain't time to get faint. This is time, to crank up and get excited, because we're almost out of here. We're about to see the downfall of all our enemies, man, starting with the 2/3 of our nation, because they hate us too, and especially our women and everybody else, man. We're gonna see the downfall of all these idiots, man. And I for sure can't wait, man. So call hello, how about Shimmer, how shot. We just gotta continue and finish the course, man. But you see, we are the salt of the earth, even in our captivity. Here we are at supposed to be the bottom of the damn barrel, all right, in captivity, and look at everyone copying us still. That shows you, Esau Edom, you don't even have a quote unquote culture for real. You don't have one. What? Yeah, stealing, killing, and destroying. That's your culture. Now, our people, because they're following the wicked one, they've started to cleave onto that type of doctrine, do as thou wilt, all that old shit, which this is why we're prophesying judgment is finna come, starting with the nation of Israel. Y'all supposed to be leaders, not following this BS. All right, they're supposed to follow us, and guess what? They're so stupid. The little Edomite youngins, they're following our people right into a ditch. They're out there twerking, and I'm telling you, man, they are on our culture heavy. You saw that song, that video with the white girl. I don't know if it was a prom, a party, or whatever. She's rapping the little baby verse, it like word for word. The movie Meet the Millers, I think, with Jennifer Aniston. It's a part where the little Edomite boy raps Left Eye's verse on Waterfalls. I believe. I didn't even know the lyrics to that thing. Now, of course, it's a movie. He had to learn his lines and things like that. But it just shows you, man. In that little baby, and I'm from this way. She just spit that word for word. It shows you, man. Hey, we are the salt of the earth, and that these other nations already are following us. All right, now they're not following us in righteousness. It's just the Lord's hopeful elect right now versus everybody. But when the Lord bestow that power upon them, they're gonna be willing in that day. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear again to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Until next time, Shalom.